Welcome, listeners, to the Word World podcast.
Hi.
That was Jack.
Yeah.
I'm Dean.
I'm Carrie.
Carrie, it's her turn to come up with something probably about murder, mayhem, death, mysterious, sure, but something that's going to be a huge downer. Am I right, Carrie?
Not sad, no mayhem, no murder.
No mayhem.
Might be a smidgy death, but it's not about a death.
Smidgy death. Is that a...
And no mystery.
No mystery?
Nope.
Okay, well, that's not a good way to sell it.
I know. It has none of this, what you all like and tune in for. None of it.
So,
Oh, but is this going to be a happy, positive, uplifting
okay.
story?
Yeah, but if it's a story about the founding of the Girl Scouts or something like that, I don't know that.
No, but that's
really...
probably a weird story.
Make it weird.
I'll have to look into it. No. Have you guys heard of the hot new parenting movement called, I don't know if it's new, but free range parenting?
Chickens?
I've
free
heard
range
only
kids?
in relation to chickens, yes.
Yeah.
Seriously? You've never heard of free range parenting?
No.
Vaguely.
Well,
Is that where you let your kid have really long hair and they become actors when they're youth, but not in their adulthood? And when they are directed, they ask if they should have complex characteristics
Oh,
or
my
simple
goodness.
characteristics at the audition?
no,
Okay.
it's basic characteristics. Or
Whatever.
But anyway, I don't think so. The free range, I think the whole thing stems from this woman. Her name's Lenore Skenazy.
Lenore Skenazy.
It's not integral to the story,
No.
but she is a former New York Sun columnist, and she wrote a column about letting her 9-year-old son find his way home alone on the New York City subway system.
Girl, no.
Listen, Lenore, with your
That's-
son Kyle or Trip.
I don't know what his name was.
Okay.
But that's free range parenting. And obviously she was attacked mercilessly, I'm sure.
As she should be.
And she was coined America's worst mom.
Mm-hmm.
So it started, the controversy around this free range parenting philosophy, which is said to help children build confidence, and it turns them into responsible, capable adults with stellar problem-solving skills.
If they reach adulthood.
Literally. If they don't get fucking
That's
snatched on the
terrible.
side of
That's
the...
horrible. I mean,
I know.
You can teach responsibility and things like that without putting your child at insane risk. Which in
Bitch.
New York,
For real.
I mean, come on, that's just
Give them a
Yes.
goldfish,
Sure.
Give it a hermit crab, not a fucking throw it into the city.
let them find their way in from the
Them.
backyard or from something like that.
Or yeah, like like when we got out, like when Erin got out that one time, and she just had to find her way back, and our poor babysitter was terrified.
Okay, she was in the courtyard, so
But exactly,
Of the
it probably built
townhome.
a little bit of
I
character.
suppose.
You're misremembering that story. It was you who got out.
No.
There's multiple times.
No,
we've
he's talking about
got out different times.
The time where we closed the garage
Yes.
on Erin in the courtyard, and she goes, "Okay, well, I guess I live here now.
Yeah.
I'm a free range child," and she was like 4.
That was us,
She had to walk around.
not the babysitter.
Okay.
We'll discuss later.
Anyway,
Yes. Anyway, obviously in modern America, if you decide to practice free range parenting, you have to consider your local and state laws, which vary anywhere between where is it? I think Georgia, you're allowed to, Delaware and Georgia. 8
Wow.
years old is the limit. You can leave an 8-year-old home alone.
but they can also get married at that age in Georgia, so I don't know that that's relevant.
In some places, Colorado, it's 12. Illinois, it's 14. California doesn't have an age.
I was going to
So-
say, I didn't know that states even had
Yeah.
a legal age for leaving your kids at home alone. I thought
Some
it was just
do.
like a
Most-
discretionary thing.
Most don't.
Yeah, but they're thinking like home alone in the locked
Exactly.
house, not to wander around the streets of Manhattan.
Like a latchkey kid, not
yes,
like a
I'm sure that's true. They
throw
don't-
them on the
Sure.
subway
You
in
wouldn't
New York
leave-
City.
Even in Georgia and Delaware, they don't leave their 9-year-old in a town, in somewhere on the other side of the town, and say, "Come on, find your way home."
Well, probably
Dingbat.
not.
Use your magnetic sense like a homing pigeon. No, you know why? Humans don't have that.
God.
But anyway, it's
I actually
pretty
have heard of this
interesting.
before.
Yes.
Not as free range parenting. I had a teacher who talked about his parent dropping him off in the
Oh.
depths of, I don't remember where it was. I think it was Utah or some shit.
Yeah.
He was a weirdo.
Yeah. I've heard of
He
that
was.
too. And, didn't we have this on a podcast episode before?
What?
Like some parent took his young children out into the woods and left him there and said, "Okay, make your way home."
I don't think so. I think that was. I think it was Ross Perot with his vice presidential candidate in 1992, James Stockdale. I believe that's what you're thinking of.
Well, honestly, I think there is a happy medium.
That was
cut.
your parents with your chicken, I want to say Skippy, who...
Peanut
butter.
Who, when they, in actuality,
Hence the
killed
Skippy.
it and ate it, they told Carrie that they took it to the farm or something like that.
My mother was traumatized by having to pluck dead chickens as a young child on her grandparents' farm. There's no way in hell she would have.
I
had
didn't say
someone
she
else do
plucked
it.
it. She had someone else do it.
Oh, okay.
Girl.
Come on.
So now on to our
But
story.
you ate your
Oh,
chicken.
yeah.
Let's just be clear. You ate your chicken.
Yeah, the breast and thigh.
We absolutely did not eat our chicken.
100% ate your chicken. We're going to eat Loki eventually when he's old.
No, we're not.
Too far.
Okay.
Okay. We are going way back
Uh-oh.
over 100 years ago.
Okay.
Before Lenore Skenazy
Well, I don't think it was called free range
ever
parenting then.
thought about.
It was called childhood, I believe, at that time, 100 years ago.
Well, you'll see. We're going to talk about the Abernathy family,
Okay.
specifically the two Abernathy boys. Their father was John, of course, because he was John. Everybody called him Jack. He
Makes
was
perfect sense, by the way,
yes,
America.
born in 1876 in Bosque County, Texas, to a father who was a veteran of the Confederate Army's Waco Rifles, who, you know, fought and got injured and all that, was taken prisoner of war. And his wife, Kitty Williams Thompson Abernathy, everybody had multiple names. She was the widow of a Confederate soldier who already had 4 sons and 2 daughters when she married
Wow.
Jack
Wow.
Abernathy's dad.
It's probably
Surprising.
Out of 9 total, I mean, 3, obviously.
Well, and then with her new Army veteran husband, had 5 more children.
Good Lord.
Oh my God.
Jack Abernathy was the baby. Jack Abernathy grew up to become quite a character of the Wild West. He worked as a saloon pianist in Sweetwater, Texas at the tender age of 6.
What?
It'd be like that back then. Are you
6,
kidding me?
Get to work. What do you? How much money are you bringing into the household?
Basically, either that or the coal mines. I'd choose the
Yeah.
piano
You know what?
too.
I'm going to play piano.
He happened to survive a gun battle, I'm assuming in
At
the
age of
saloon,
7.
I mean, it's a saloon.
because it left gun bullets or bullet holes in his piano.
Oh.
I like gun bullets. I don't know. Why.
Gun
It just
bullet.
sounds- Gun bullets. Okay. It seems, yeah.
Well, his mom made him stop
Really?
playing the piano.
There's going to be some gunfight in
Well-
Texas
Yeah.
saloons.
Occupational hazard.
Just,
Well, then when he was 9, he became a full-time range rider on the AKX Ranch.
okay.
And that's so much more safe.
9-year-old range rider. What does a range rider do anyway?
I'm not exactly
I'll tell
sure.
you what he did.
Okay.
Ooh.
He patrolled the fenceless prairie with a .38 pistol because a .45 was too heavy.
I'm gonna assume there is an Abernathy. Who's this person again?
His
This
name's Jack Abernathy.
Jack Abernathy. I'm gonna assume that Jack Abernathy is the source of this, right?
Maybe.
You know,
There's a
I don't know.
memoir involved. That's
There are many memoirs.
Was he on
and
Oprah?
stories about this.
Okay.
He becomes a well-known character.
Uh-huh.
At the age of 15, he won a job as a top bronc buster and first saddle at the JA Ranch.
These are, you just
Yeah.
said a lot of words.
well, it's
I'm
like
not sure I know them.
the first flautist in a symphony or something
Yeah.
like that.
First
He's the
seat.
first saddle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Busting all the broncs.
Bustin' Bronc.
Oh, no.
15-year-old Bronc Buster. Buster. His balls hadn't dropped yet, so it was fairly safe for him.
15?
They later back then.
Well-
Everything was later.
When he was 18, he fell in love with a pretty gray-eyed music teacher named Jessie Pearl Jordan. And he had to devise an elaborate plan to elope with her because I'm assuming her parents would not approve. This was in March 1894 for your handy-dandy timeline over there.
1894. Got it.
They would eventually end up having 6 children,
Ugh.
4 daughters. Great names. Here they come.
Ooh, Matilda.
Kitty,
Like it. That's after his mom.
Yeah.
Golda.
Golda. So one was
She's
Jewish.
my favorite.
Interesting.
They called her Goldie, but
Goldie.
she was born deaf.
Oh.
But they ended up taking her to a deaf school so that she could be educated. Johnny was a daughter.
Shawnee was a daughter.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
And
Sounds like they were already set in that name, regardless of the gender. And they said, you know what, we're keeping it.
probably.
Right.
And I think they called her Jack.
Well, that's just...
You know what?
It's after the dad.
I'm down for that.
yeah.
All right. All right.
Names and gender, it's
Yeah,
all fucking.
I don't have a problem.
None of it's
with-
real.
Yeah.
I want to be called Melinda.
Go
Okay.
for it.
It's a good name.
Hi, Melinda.
Okay, thank you.
And Jessie Pearl was the youngest daughter.
Just a pearl.
See, they have no. I'm going to say there is a lack
Yeah.
of creativity.
Yeah.
They are just saying,
Yes.
okay, who do we know already? We're taking your name.
We have a long history of that. Nah, it's just...
People do that a lot. I'm saying,
Yeah.
look up, go on names.com, okay?
Yeah.
You can do it.
Well, I like the name Pearl. You know, you have a grandfather named Pearl.
But she's Jessie Pearl.
Notice the grandfather named Pearl, so
Yeah.
there you go. It's gender
Yeah.
busting names way back in
Yeah.
Carrie's
Yeah.
past there.
Gender
no,
busting. Bronc
your
busting.
past.
Oh, that was
It's
my
your
grandfather?
Yeah.
What? My grandfather's name was Pearl?
Yes,
I feel like I should know that.
No, it's
My
mom's
actual
genealogy.
grandfather?
Yes.
From Nebraska. On my dad's side.
Your father's father.
It was Pearl.
Yes.
See, I never called him I never called him Pearl.
Well-
I don't think I met him, actually.
Apparently not.
Ah,
Wow. Did not know. You think that would have come up, though? I don't know.
Well, in there, they also had two little boys named Louis, who was called Bud,
Okay. Just, why name someone if you're not going to call him that?
and Temple,
Temple.
who was named after Sam Houston's youngest son,
Temple Houston.
Temple,
interesting.
who they called him Temp.
Temp. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So Jack the dad became.
So he's good at bussing. He did some counting. He did some light typing. It's Temp.
Well, he'll become good at a lot of things.
Temple,
You'll hear
Abernathy?
all- best.
It is Abernathy, right? Is
Uh-huh.
it the Abernathy?
Abernathy. Jack, the dad, would become somewhat famous for his ability to jump from horseback and wrestle with wild wolves and coyotes.
Bitch.
This guy is so full of shit.
He'd-
None of these things happen to him.
He'd stick his hand in their jaws to immobilize them, then wire their muzzles shut
No.
and bind their
Nope.
legs.
Never happened.
I'm sorry, Jack. From one Jack to the other.
Wait, is this the
a
younger
no.
Jack? This is the original Jack that you
Yes.
started with, John Jack. Okay.
Yeah.
The one who was 9 years old and 6 years
Uh-huh.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and was
the
a-
Bronc
The 6-year-old
buster.
saloon pianist
Killed 21
and
people
Bronc
before he
buster.
was 8.
He didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, well, you know,
Well, he might have killed people
I'm sure
later, but
no.
up till now, he hasn't killed anybody.
What I'm trying to convey is that Jack is full of
I
crap.
know you are.
Okay.
And you need to just zip
I know,
it.
chill it.
If you could have seen Kara's, the veins in her neck just came out when she zip it.
Let the story happen.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry, my bad.
His wolf
Wait, wolf?
muzzling and binding skills.
Muzzling, okay.
Bitch,
And-
you don't have to repeat every word that you're
well, I
writing.
want to make sure. And bears, too? There were bears involved. Did I hear bears?
No.
Oh, coyotes.
No,
You literally did not. Wolves and coyotes.
Coyotes, okay, got it. Well, that's more believable.
Yes. These
Barely.
amazing skills
Uh-huh.
earned him the nickname Jack Catch 'em Alive Abernathy.
Jack, catch him alive.
Oh my god! And then he went on to create Pokemon.
And then he
Catch
also
'em all.
founded the city of Ketchum, Idaho.
Well, this is in. Did I say where they lived?
Texas?
This is, no. Well, he
Oh.
was born in Texas and
Okay.
all that jazz, but this is in Oklahoma.
What is that?
What? I guess he was born in Texas and all that jazz. We were baffled by that, but delightfully baffled.
Okay.
All that jazz was his childhood and having family.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Anyway, Oklahoma before it was a territory.
It was the
not
quote-unquote
a state yet.
Indian territory.
Yeah.
Okay. We
What-
now call it the Native American territory.
Yes.
We don't. But
No,
it
it's
was-
neither of
it
those.
was-
Stories of Jack's unusual talent made their way to President Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay. All right.
Because, he loved the West and he loved wild stuff and all that jazz.
Wild stuff. He did. He did love
did.
wild
He
things.
did like
National
wild
things,
parks.
So in 1905, President Theodore Roosevelt came out to the Oklahoma
His mom?
Territory, specifically Frederick,
Hmm.
to meet Jack, who at this time was 29 years old, at a wolf hunt.
A wolf
You know,
hunt.
as you
That's-
do.
That's an awful statement.
It is
Awful that phrase exists.
I didn't read why they were having a wolf hunt. I'm
To
assuming.
kill wolves.
Well, yeah, because of
sport.
livestock, not for
Yeah.
sport.
This is
probably
still when
for
wolves had a
livestock
bounty. I
and-
mean, they
Yeah.
a nickel per head. I mean, it was horrible. I've seen
Yeah.
literally piles of wolves.
Yes,
It's gross.
I am
It's
not
horrific.
endorsing.
let him kill your
or
sheep,
approving
okay?
of
You
this.
have enough sheep.
Plenty of sheep.
Roosevelt later described Jack as, quote, not more than 5'2", but he is built like an ox and his muscles are steel, or
Oh,
like steel.
My God,
He's
one
like
of those
Wolverine.
yoked.
He's like Wolverine.
Uh-huh. Roosevelt was so impressed by Abernathy that after the 5-day hunting thing in Oklahoma Territory's big pasture, he declared, "This beats anything I have seen in my life, and I have seen a good deal."
What?
So the next year,
It was TR's blind spot. He was good on like trust busting and founding national parks and things like that. But on the whole killing wildlife, not so much.
yeah.
Did he actually? Never mind. We'll go on. TR, I disagree.
Yeah. Well, the next year, so now 1906, Roosevelt appointed Jack Abernathy the U.S. Marshal for the Western District of Oklahoma.
Wow.
I think he was the only U.S. Marshal in all of Oklahoma. And this made him, oh, yeah, right here, my next sentence, the top federal law enforcement official in the state, which wasn't a state yet.
No.
And he was granted a salary of $5,000 a year.
Wait, what year is
Damn.
this?
1906.
Oh, okay, it's going to be state the next year.
Yep. Be about $158,000 in 2022 money, plus expenses. And this made him the youngest U.S. Marshal in history.
Oh wow. And the shortest.
Yes. Well,
Well, maybe. Who
Maybe.
knows? People were shorter in those days.
5'2".
They were.
they were a little, but not that.
1906.
Not as much as you think.
Well, then, 3 months after the birth of Abernathy baby number 6,
That's by then. That's what they named it.
know.
Abernathy baby number 6. They were.
I
they're
think
done.
I think it was Jessie Pearl.
Abernathy baby.
The mom, Jessie Pearl, died
Rest in peace, Jesse Pearl number 1.
of Bright's disease, which
Ooh.
is kidneys.
That's not fun.
No,
No,
she was
stop,
30
stop.
years old. And she had children basically from 12 to 3 months old.
Oh
Well,
God.
Okay. All right. Because Carrie promised uplifting, and that's what she's.
Well, I didn't
she's
say there'd be no
delivering.
death.
All
I
right.
said there might be a little bit of death.
Might be a little. Okay, so a little. I'm saying there may be no more death. I decree it.
Okay, I promise.
That
no
was
more
the
death.
little bit you get. Okay. Mama only gets a little bit of death as a treat.
So Jack's father and sister stepped in to help him raise the children. But by the next July, he found himself a new wife.
Sure. That's how you did it. You had children. You're a widower. You found a new wife.
He was
Pretty much.
29, I think, still. Maybe
That's
30.
quick.
29 or 30. He eloped with Miss Almira Purvain,
I like that name.
Ooh.
teenage daughter. She was 19, so it's not like she was,
Yeah.
but she was.
She was well past marrying age then. Why did they have to elope? Just
She was the daughter of a wealthy farmer,
Oh.
and
Don't look at me for clarification.
the article said she was a junior in high school.
At 19?
Yeah,
A little bit of being held back.
So-
Maybe she started real late.
It's a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah,
She
who
started
knows?
late.
Yeah.
She was
Anyway,
helping with the farm chores. Oh, she skipped a few
I
because
was
she
gonna
had to
say,
help. They
or
had a
she-
hard year.
Exactly. She took a
Couple
year
times.
off
Yeah.
to milk a few more cows.
a gap
That
year
happens.
in high school.
Gap
Well,
year.
A couple of gap years. A few gap years.
this marriage would not last long.
Oh.
It lasted less than 2 years when Jack filed for divorce in April of 1910,
It's too old.
just weeks after the arrival of their baby daughter,
What the hell?
who they named for President Roosevelt,
Teddy.
Theodora Lucille.
Oh, okay.
Ah. Could be called Teddy.
Sure.
Now,
Why did you divorce? What happened?
I don't know.
Irreconcilable differences?
Irreconcilable.
Oh,
Probably a good,
Who knows?
good job, Almira. You don't want to get saddled with that many
Probably.
fucking kids.
no,
Yeah.
at 19. So that means she was only 7 years older than her oldest stepdaughter.
No,
Crazy.
I would
That's it.
die.
Well, now we're on to the meat and bones of our story.
Okay.
This was just a prologue.
Yeah.
A little bit of background.
I told you Jack had 2 sons.
Yeah, he did.
Louis, Bud. He was born in 1899, and Temple was born in 1904.
Oh.
We're going to skip forward a few years. It's 1909. The mom has been dead a couple years. The boys are laying on the grass out looking at the sky. You know, they kind of rough and tumble little boys.
Oh.
And they're talking about going on an adventure and talking amongst themselves. They're 9 and 5. And they decide, let's ride our horses to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Okay.
By ourselves to go see the governor's new mansion that their dad has told them about.
Just on a whim.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
I
just
mean, they weren't going to leave right then. They were cooking up this
Oh,
plan.
okay. This was okay.
It's just a few weeks ride or something. I mean, so that'll be
Seriously.
fine.
And then a couple nights later, they're out again. This must be what they do in the evening time. They're lying out on the
Well,
grass.
Again, no Xboxes. So.
No, looking at the sky. This night, their dad Jack is with them, and they're kind of lying there, and they're also like kind of wrestling and playing around, being boys with their dad. And Bud says, you know, Dad, can we talk to you about something? And he can't get the words out. So Temple, the 5-year-old, jumps in and tells their dad that, you know, now that school's out for the summer, they didn't want to just loaf around and do nothing. They wanted to have an adventure. They wanted to go somewhere far away. And the dad said, well, sure, you go places all the time. And they said, no, we want to go on horseback by ourselves to Santa Fe, New Mexico to see the governor's new mansion. The dad was, of course, a little bit taken aback. He said, you know, we recently lost your mom. Your sisters and I would kind of miss you if something bad would happen to you. That's really far. And would be, you know, over some rough land and everything. And he said, you know, let me think about it. And so the next night, they were doing the same thing.
I mean, you are 9 and 5, so you guys are ready. Let me
Yes.
see.
He thought maybe they would just forget about it, probably. Well, the next night, they brought it up again. So he said, okay, well, what's your plan? So the boys told him, here's the map Bud drew, hand-drawn map.
Us, star, Santa Fe, a line to it.
He had the route
9-year-olds?
mapped out.
Really?
The 9-year-old. They said they would ride their horses. Well, one of them, Bud, would have to borrow their dad's horse, Sam Bass, and Temple could ride Geronimo, who was a little pony. Okay. And Jack, being the good Wild West dad that he was, decided to seriously consider this request. He decided before he would say yes, he was going to give them a test by having them ride from their home in Guthrie, Oklahoma, to they had a ranch out in Frederick, Oklahoma. It was about 150 miles. So he let them ride
On a horseback.
150 miles. They made it in good time with no problems. So he said, go, young sons.
How far is Santa
I was
Fe
just
from
about to ask.
Guthrie?
Like 1,300 miles.
Good Lord. I mean, so
Oh,
that would take.
my
I mean,
God.
that would take a couple of weeks, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
At least.
Jack had every confidence in their horsemanship. He did lay down some guidelines. First, he went to the bank and opened checking accounts for each of them. And he deposited $100 into each of their checking accounts, which would be about $3,000 today.
Damn.
And he would also give them a note to carry with their checkbooks that said they were not runaways.
We are not runaways, and we can't read. Will you write us a check?
And here's our money. There were rules. They had to promise they wouldn't ride more than 50 miles a day.
Sure.
They had to promise they wouldn't travel on Sundays.
Oh, well. Keeping the Lord's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They were only allowed to carry $5 in cash on them, so they couldn't be robbed for their money.
Okay.
Why couldn't they be robbed for $5?
They
I don't
could
know.
be. And that's a.
And they also had to promise they wouldn't go through rushing streams without a guide.
Okay. All right. Some good ground rules for
Very good
kids to go
ground rules.
1,300 miles.
Yeah. 50 miles a day. That
50.
No, I know. That's what I
Okay.
said.
Yeah.
50 miles a day. That's still going to make the journey take so long.
Yeah, I know.
So on June 10th, I think, some accounts differ, 1909, they left from the federal building at 9:00 in the morning in Guthrie, Oklahoma, to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Like I said, Bud, whatever, rode his
call him
father's
Bud.
horse, Sam Bass, and Temple rode the pony named Geronimo. Temple was so small at home to get on the horse, he'd have to get on the horse from the porch.
Mm-hmm.
But out, on the ride, he'd have to climb up onto a stump. So wherever they were, they had to make sure there was a stump so Temple could get on the horse. And then most times he would slide down the pony's front leg to get off rather than just drop
Yeah.
to the ground from the saddle.
It's the equivalent of a 14-foot drop. So
They rode
God.
without maps. Don't ask me why, because,
they
Bud
had a
had
map.
drawn a map.
come on, man.
But they would watch the sun and ask directions as they went. Behind their bedrolls, they carried bacon and oats for their horses, and they paid for food and hotel bills by check.
That's
Hence
smart.
the checkbooks. They wore broad-brimmed hats, long pants, and spurs, and they were able to stay in touch with their father through telegrams and occasional phone calls. Their journey became a big deal. It was carried not just by local newspapers, but by the New York Times.
Oh, it's like that one little Dutch boy who went across the world.
I don't know about that.
No one knows what you're talking about. You're making that up.
Nope. We'll talk later.
They became so well known that people would come out to greet them on their trip.
Like in the cities that they're
Yep.
coming through.
Their
Like, "Hey, guys."
Instagram account blew
imagine?
up.
Oh my God.
Huge. They're
Don't-
taking pictures of the sunset. This is actually day 15. I think we're in Mexico. I'm not completely sure. Attacked by natives.
Coyotes.
Well, their trip,
Temple has been scalped.
there were a few near disasters on this trip. Poor little Temple contracted diarrhea
Ooh.
by
That'll
drinking
happen.
gypsum water.
Gypsum water? Mm-hmm. Explain, please.
I don't know.
Water in gypsum?
I guess.
Why is
so.
that bad?
Diarrhea?
No, gypsum water.
I don't know. It had some kind of bacteria in it.
Probably had Girardia,
Probably happened all the time.
Diarrhea, yes.
dysentery.
Very common.
And
Steroids.
I've been told.
he basically had to be forced to stay in bed while he was sick. He wanted to get up and go.
Spread your dysentery all over the fucking Southwest.
Just
Don't think it was dysentery. You can have diarrhea without it being
yeah,
dysentery.
Jack.
back
Why are you
then.
so insistent on dysentery? Pooping all over the saddle. I can do it. Come on.
And
Come on, bud. Let me go.
another time he sprained both ankles trying to dismount.
Well,
Old Geronimo.
What did I say? It's the
Basically.
equivalent of 14 feet. It's a long drop.
It was bound to happen.
You gotta spring. You gotta bounce
Yep.
like a cat.
Yeah, do it on grass.
Just slide down Geronimo's leg.
Well,
Geronimo
well-
kicked him.
After they had made it into New Mexico, one night they were camping out
Uh-oh.
and their camp became surrounded by wolves.
Ooh.
They built up the fire, and then Bud was forced to lie awake at night, firing his shotgun into the darkness toward the wolves that circled while Temple was sleeping.
He's like, what happened? Wait, sleeping through shotgun?
Really?
Probably not,
Sure.
but-
A 6-year-old can sleep through just about anything.
He's 6 now? Okay, I'm less impressed.
Oh, 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't know when his birthday
He had a
was.
birthday. There's a
Maybe
long
I-
journey.
He might have. Yeah, I don't know. They ran out of both food and water between stops, and they were basically saved by the kindness of strangers on more than one occasion. When they made it into Roswell, the editor of the newspaper invited them to stay at his house. And when they made it to Santa Fe, the governor bought them new clothes,
Oh.
gave them a tour of the city, and let Temple slide down his stair rail.
What?
And his horse's leg. The governor was... Who was the governor?
I do not know.
Oh, because it might have been... No, it wasn't. Never
No,
mind.
we're not gonna. No.
Well, the guy who wrote Ben-Hur was a governor of New Mexico at one time. But I think it might have been territory
Really?
still. I'm not sure.
Interesting. Well, their dad, Jack, came out to meet them in Santa Fe and then rode with them.
Wisely on a stagecoach, taking about 3 days.
I was just about to say. if
He probably
was-
took a train.
Okay.
I think the dad
Or
probably
even a
took a
train.
train.
True. I forgot about
All right.
trains.
If you really wanted to see the mansion, couldn't you have taken the train, kids? That would have been adventure enough, I feel like.
Yeah, I would
Big.
think so too. But they
I
didn't
didn't
want to
even-
do that. They weren't train
Okay,
kids,
all
Dean.
right.
They were horse kids.
Horse kids, okay.
Well, and then the dad rode with them on the the ride back home as far as Las Vegas, New Mexico. Didn't know there was a Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Sure. It means the Vegas. Little known fact.
Well, from that point, he tried to get them to take the train home with him because, he wasn't going to keep riding.
I ain't doing that
He
shit.
was
This kid's going
done.
to get diarrhea, and I am picking that shit up.
But they wanted to keep riding on horseback, and
Stupid.
they wanted to take a different route.
Oh, it's an adventure.
Yes, it was. Well, this route
By way of Portland.
was rougher and more mountainous, and the thin air made it more difficult for them to even do the 50 miles a day, so it would take them longer. At the Canadian River, they came upon a camp where they heard some men laughing and joking while they were branding cattle. So the boys asked them if they could spend the night with them,
Well, this is going to take a terrible turn.
and the men let them, fed them well, and then the next day
Sold
they
them into slavery.
warned the boys
Oh.
to watch out for outlaws, and then followed them protectively for a ways, out of their camp. Once the kids got back to Oklahoma, they were met by a big old marching band, had like a parade down the street.
It lasted over 3 minutes.
They were a very big deal. And when they got home, their dad showed them a letter he had received.
Uh-oh, ransom.
They were, please tell me they're going to be ghosts and they're going to find their bodies somewhere.
No.
Ah, damn it.
What?
That would be death, and I told you.
I know
there was
it'd
no
be
death.
And I
much more
decreed. I
weird.
said no more death.
It'd
Yes.
be more weird world, I'm just saying. Can we just change it so
The
they
letter-
did die and these are ghosts? No.
No,
Okay.
was a note scribbled by the point of a lead-tipped bullet on a brown paper sack, addressed to the Marshal of Oklahoma, and it was delivered to the Jack Abernathy home. It said, "I don't like one hair on your head, but I do like the stuff that is in these kids. We shadowed them through the worst part of New Mexico to see that they were not harmed by sheep herders, mean men, or animals."
Why would sheep herders be?
Those
Going after these poor
mean sheep
I just
herders.
think of sheep herders as mean. I think
I don't know. Shit was different back then. It was
Uh-huh.
the Wild West.
sheep herders had a bad rep. I didn't realize that.
It was signed just with the initials AZY, which were the initials of a rustler who had been in a shootout with Jack Abernathy and whose friend was killed in that shootout.
So he was thinking about taking revenge on them, their kids, but he liked their gumption. He liked the cut of their jib, and he didn't take revenge. That's good.
He was
Yeah.
the outlaw.
Jack,
Or he did kill them, and they're ghosts.
Jack was said to be tickled by the note and told his sons, "It just goes to show you there's good in all men. He'd have killed me at the drop of a hat, but he was honorable to protect my innocent boys."
You know what? I'll give you that one.
Look, kids, you plumb almost got killed.
Yeah.
Some people thought that they were too young to
Some people.
take
Yeah.
such a long, dangerous trip by themselves.
I am some people.
Some people were aghast. When they returned from Santa Fe back to Oklahoma, one woman, at the big parade and stuff,
Yeah.
asked them, "Where's your mother? Why would she let you go on such a
Wow.
dangerous trip?"
That's a bit awkward.
When Temple told her that their mother was dead, she screamed and grabbed him to hug him. He said,
How you're terrifying this
God.
5-year-old.
he said this was scarier than anything that had happened on the ride.
Scarier from me.
Oh, God. Not the screaming Karen. He meant the first Karen.
Well, their dad had been receiving letters and photos from mayors of various towns along the kids' route, so he knew that they were safe and they were being cared for. And because of all the notoriety they got from their trip, they would become two of the best-known children in the world. One Ohio newspaper wrote, "The Abernathy boys are beating all records for juvenile fame."
Since Hansel and Gretel, I believe, are the most famous.
They
and
couldn't-
Jack and Jill.
They couldn't have become better known if they had got themselves kidnapped and ransomed.
Oh, shit.
Which, as a matter of fact, almost happened.
So when they got back, they, went back to elementary school and began dreaming of their next big adventure.
Y'all better stop it.
They're going to
gotta
build a
taste.
boat and sail for Europe.
As school was about to shut down for the next summer, the boys asked if they could go to New York City to witness
Nice.
a reception for Theodore Roosevelt, which was being planned to welcome his return from 15 months abroad on safari in Africa and speaking in the capitals of Europe.
Wait. What year is this?
This would be 1910.
Oh, okay. So he's not president anymore.
Yeah, it's
okay. I
he
thought he's
lo-
president. Like, you know what, guy? I know I'm president, but I'm going to go on a more than a year safari. Look back, see when I see you.
No, it was after he
Okay.
lost re-election, right?
No, he
thought he
didn't
did.
run again.
Oh.
He's going to run again in 1912 and lose, but finish a close second impressively to Woodrow Wilson, as you know.
Okay. Yeah, I knew all about that.
Uh-huh.
So they told their dad of this grand plan to go to New York City. Jack asked how they planned to pay for their train ticket, assuming this is New York. You're taking a train, right,
Well, we
kids?
still got like $50 left in our checking account, so.
Temple said, "Oh, it's all settled. Our round-trip tickets are out in the barn eating hay."
Oh, that clever little bastard. Who said that, Temple?
Yeah.
He's like 7 now?
Yes.
She's a smart ass.
He said that the trip, even though it was longer, it would likely have better roads and more amenities. I'm sure he used that word, amenities.
I'm positive he did. But he's right, I suppose, right? I'm sure.
Well, they did so well on their trip to Santa Fe.
Yeah.
But he's got to go. Well, I guess he doesn't. No. Yeah. It would be pretty much more doable than the mountainous, rough, unsettled Southwest.
Maybe.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
What
In fact, this trip to New York City, I'm not that impressed. The Santa Fe, that was impressive.
Well,
Short distance, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, their dad agreed.
Okay.
Oh,
and
my Lord.
They started planning. Easterners were fascinated by the Abernathys, and on their route, red carpets were unrolled, bands were assembled, and speeches were made.
Nice. And
E-
the
every-
passive tense was used.
Cities that they come into, they, got grand receptions. Kids envied them, women adored them, grown men pulled hair from their horses' tails to keep as souvenirs, which is a little bit gross.
Yeah. Women loved them. The boys wanted to be them. They were huge.
And people would steal things. Like, one time one of them got their blanket stolen
Wow,
from
that's not
under
nice.
the horse's saddle and stuff like that. Yeah. They were like the Beatles of their time.
Well, okay, sure.
So they still, even though they, saw lots of people when they would make it into towns, they still had long, lonely stretches to go. In Hominy, Oklahoma, so not far into their
Yeah.
trip, poor Geronimo had a problem. He foundered, whatever that means.
Tripped,
Yeah,
hit a rock.
Horsey things.
hurt his leg. So anyway, Temple was forced to leave him behind and had to buy a new horse, a red and white pinto he named Wiley Haynes.
Okay, as you do. That
After
would be
somebody.
a significant expense. Did they have the budget for that?
They must have.
That's that was kind of like buying a car. Horses were pretty expensive back in those days. Interesting. Maybe they made some money from selling pictures of themselves or something like that.
Yeah, maybe they did make money along the way. Although I've heard, in stories that they made money, but it didn't say how. So
Dollar per
I don't
picture,
know.
that's what I think.
Or it could be just people just gave them money.
Well, okay, even better.
But-
It's like GoFundMe of 1910.
Yeah. Well, I told you Temple's blanket was stolen. It was actually stolen at a livery in Chicago.
Fucking Chicagoans.
Some kids, felt probably envious, but also, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Hateful,
know.
angry,
Competitive.
jealous.
Competitive.
Okay.
They acted unimpressed and would challenge them to a fight. Dumb.
Jesus.
They had to ride through driving rain and muddy roads, and they basically only had directions, from one stable to the next. Bud nearly crushed his leg in a fall, and Temple, on this trip, suffered a bronchial infection, and a doctor in New Jersey measured his temperature at 103
Uh-oh.
and ordered him to rest again.
Temple was a sickly little.
He
6 or
didn't want to
7-year-old.
rest this time either.
No.
Yeah, sick twice in 2 years. That's
That's
amazing.
brutal. Well, every time they go on a trip, Temple seems to be sick, which means little Bud has to do all the chores and the stuff like that. Yeah, Temple.
They had lots of fun and adventures on their trip, too. It wasn't all just riding horses through rain and mud.
They visited a brothel in southern Ohio.
In St. Louis, they got to drive a train, which was a high point for Temple, and he decided that's what he wanted to do.
A train
he wanted
conductor?
Yep. And they saw a car for the first time, also in St. Louis. Bud fell in love with cars.
So he's going to be a race car driver.
They got to sleep in a firehouse in Cincinnati. They were made deputies for the day in Dayton. They were given.
So they killed a black person, because as you will,
They were given badges and clubs,
they for sure,
and they were shown all about fingerprinting, which was very new at the time. They visited the Wright brothers' airplane factory,
Wow.
where Wilbur himself gave them a tour, and they got to sit at the controls of a plane, which Temple thought was the best thing in the world, and said, one day I'm going to have one of these.
So he's going to be a pilot and a train conductor.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, he's 7. He's, if there were astronauts, he'd want to be an astronaut too.
I wanted to be an astronaut.
And in West Virginia, when they were at a hotel, and Halley's Comet was,
I'm going to let you struggle with that. No.
what is it? Halley's or
I'm
Halley's?
not 100% sure. Haley's coming.
Anyway, it was Halley's Comet time.
Oh, that's when
And-
Mark Twain died then. Oh.
Really? They were
Rough.
guests of honor. They were woken up by a hotel clerk or a hotel manager to come and watch the comet, which I guess nobody knew if it was going to. There was like a story that it might hit the earth or,
What?
yeah, something. But they were also told this happens every 75 years. So they were young enough that they might be able to see it when it comes back.
Maybe. Shit. They'll be old as hell. Well, kind of.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey.
So when was the last time Haley's Comet was? 1980, mid 1980s then?
I don't know.
No
I don't,
clue.
Well, we were alive.
Yeah.
I don't remember at all. I mean, I vaguely
I remember vaguely, yeah.
but I don't know if I saw it or not. Probably, I mean, in real sky.
I didn't
Oh.
see it.
In real sky.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I did
Not
not.
on-
I know
in
I
real
did not
time.
see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen comments. There was that comment a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Neo-wise. That was a fun.
I'm still waiting for a comet to come back so the lords of space can take Earthlings and return us to our homeland.
That's how that works.
Okie dokes. Well, in Washington, D.C., after they had been on the road for about 5 weeks, they visited both the Senate and the House of Representatives,
Where
which
they pooped on the speaker's desk.
What? And they wanted to be, and now they want to be the president.
no, the House of Representatives stopped its proceedings so the members could hear of their adventures. So they both made speeches on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Oh my
funny.
God. And then I had diarrhea, and then my horse broke her leg.
Some kid took my blanket.
These were also the days when you could
was
just
cold.
knock on the
Waltz.
front door of the White House and say, "Can we come in?"
Hello. Hi. Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Taft.
Mr. Taft. That's right. Never mind.
They went to the White House.
You're fat. Because you're a kid. You don't have a filter.
Yes, where they wore high boots and cowboy hats. And Temple also wore the badge that the chief of police in Dayton had given him. And they were asked, "Hey, you guys want to meet the president? William Howard Taft? Right
I
away.
did.
We'll bring you right in."
He might eat us. I don't want to meet him.
Well, Bud said, "Let some of those senators and other fellows have their chance."
What is this child?
They liked Taft, but their hero
Was Teddy.
Roosevelt. So he said, "When we go to see Teddy, he sits down on the floor and plays with us." But Mr. Taft didn't do that.
Well, because he would never get back up.
I think Mr. Taft is great, but you know how it is.
No, I don't, but I like that saying anyway.
He might have been saying, "You know how it is. He's too fat. He
Yeah,
can get
yeah,
down
that
on the
could be.
floor and play with us." Temple later described the journey from Washington to New York as one big parade. Cheering people lined the streets and, would try to stop them and ask them questions. In New Jersey, they were followed by local armies of small boys riding stick horses. That's
Oh.
super cute.
Oh, I thought this was going to be like a roving gang of like,
They were attacked by small boys
Yes.
riding stick horses, so
Like
they
Newsies.
easily outdistanced them.
Sharks and
Warriors,
jets.
come out and play.
Well, in New York, crowds thronged the boys. I don't know if that's really I thought it
Sounds-
was a noun.
Sounds dangerous.
No, it's a verb too.
Why not?
Shouting their names and grabbing at their hair, which, oh my
Okay,
God,
now this
these
really
are
is.
small children.
Yeah, this is
scared.
Are
Be
they going to be on the
respectful.
Ed Sullivan show and become a huge and have
Yeah.
that last and then break up at Candlestick Park and
Well,
become Hippies.
become one.
Okay.
Someone took a flower from Temple's coat. Cute that Temple had flowers on his coat. In this is the mayor of New York, William Gaynor's office. Temple was so little the mayor couldn't see him. So the mayor asked Louis why he hadn't brought his brother before realizing he was just sitting on the other side of the desk. He was too small, he couldn't see him. They talked about boots, and Mayor Gaynor asked Temple why they didn't ride the same horse because they're so little.
Yeah.
They didn't have a snappy comeback to that one.
Well, they probably did, but it was edited because it was pretty dirty.
Lost to time.
They also met the police commissioner, who asked Temple if he wanted to be a mounted police officer. Temple said no, he'd rather be a hotel clerk. So Temple wanted to be everything. So the LA Times had the headline, Temp admires hotel clerks.
Okay.
Hey, you know,
That is breaking news. Right
good
there.
representation for the hotel clerk industry.
Sure.
Yep, he was a one-name celebrity.
Temp.
Yep, Temp.
Temp and share.
In describing the mob scene at their hotel in Manhattan, the New York Times headline blared, Abernathy boys put ban on kissing.
What's happening?
Not sure what that means.
Was there kissing before?
I'm assuming, old ladies would, and probably young ladies would want to kiss them.
Oh, I get it.
Scream and then kiss them.
I thought they somehow banned kissing just in general for
No.
a time when they were.
They didn't want to be kissed.
They become
Okay.
lawmakers.
Stop kissing us.
Fearless youngsters who have ridden here from Oklahoma, mobbed by women. Surrounded by mounted police, they have a triumphal march to their Broadway hotel. That was all the headline.
Okay.
That's a long ass headline. You got to edit that shit down.
Their
Temp
dad,
goes Broadway. Should have been the headline.
their dad, Jack, had probably ridden a train out
Yeah.
to New York
Jack
to
was
join
smarter than
them.
his children.
I'm not so sure. He let them do this in the
That's
first place
true.
twice.
That's true.
Well, the boys and Jack were among the VIPs who were allowed on one of the cutters sent out to greet Roosevelt when he returned.
Damn.
And then Bud and Temple rode Sam Bass and Wiley Haynes just behind Roosevelt's carriage in front of the Rough Riders on the 5-mile parade up Broadway.
Jesus.
It was like a ticker tape parade for
They were-
Roosevelt.
They were pretty huge.
And they
I
were
know.
right there.
Why were they so
were
They've
important
been
huge.
to
pretty
Teddy?
much lost to history, though. I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
Never heard of these little tykes. What?
At the end of the route,
Tykes.
Teddy jumped out of his carriage and went to the boys with an oversized teddy bear he'd been given, draped in flags of the world, and said, "Here, Temple, this is for you."
Bud, you don't get shit.
Right. I was going to say, fuck
Fend
you,
for yourself.
bud.
And in the stores, lining the parade route, they were all, in all the windows, there were just tons of teddy bears. Teddy bears became
Yeah.
the thing.
That's why they're called teddy bears.
Bud, you're 10. You're too old for toys.
I guess.
You get nothing.
You're a man now. You got to go get married soon.
Aren't you shaving?
So Jack shipped the boys' horses back to Oklahoma, and they were allowed to stay in New York City for a few days for sightseeing, and they planned to go home by train. But Bud and Temple had a better idea.
Girl, no.
Why not buy a horseless carriage?
You
They
meant
were-
car.
Yes.
Okay.
This is they were 10 and 6. I'm guessing they were probably 10 and 7, or maybe he was 6, almost 7. But at the time, there were no restrictions on driving age. So
Because
if,
there were 12 cars in existence.
if they could drive it, they were allowed.
Jesus.
Their dad, Jack, was skeptical that they would be
Yeah.
able to,
He should learn not to be skeptical.
but told them he would consider their request if they could find a small, simple automobile that they could actually handle themselves. He gave them 1 day to search.
Jeez.
Go, boys.
Find yourselves a small, something
New
like,
York
I don't know,
City.
a Pinto maybe, a Geo Metro.
Well, apparently, there were several auto shops
Oh.
in Manhattan, or auto showrooms. At their last stop, they discovered a small red brush runabout. Never heard of the brush
I
automobile.
have not either.
It featured a single cylinder,
Okay.
a chain drive, and a fuel pump that would help with climbing hills. And the price tag, $485.
Christ.
This is the one thing that I didn't check the price for today.
Oh, that's a lot.
Well,
$1,000.
if $100 was $3,000,
Okay. Then it's almost 5 times that.
yeah, that's an expensive car. The salesman promised if it broke down on the way, he would pay the freight back and refund their money.
What? Since
Yeah,
when is a
he
car
had-
salesman being nice?
Because he's not nice.
Are you-
He's trying to close the deal. He has no
Yeah.
intention of doing that. He's a car
Are
salesman.
you kidding? The advertising, the free
Yeah.
advertising you get
Still.
for this would be worth. He should have just given them the car.
He's still a car salesman. He'd be battling his natural instinct to do anything right by humans.
So Bud spent an afternoon on driving lessons.
Just one.
Okay, plenty
You
of
know,
time.
Yep.
some people now still drive like they did the same thing. So
Did he
you too,
drive?
bud.
Did he drive for those film strip kind of thing where you have to when the old lady comes out, you have to hit the brakes and the fake thing in the van?
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what driving school was back in our day.
Simulators. he's
Simulators.
talking
We had
about.
simulators at first. Before you got into a car, you had a simulator, and like people would like run into the street in front of you, and you had to brake in time and things like that. It was
That's
great.
terrible. I thought it was just your friends. They like pulled grass along. So you thought you were driving.
You accelerated when the child went out on his bike, so
It was actually fun.
yeah, it was cool.
It's like they'd pull up this trailer
an
into
early
the
yeah.
school parking lot.
Yep,
For me, that was the GameCube.
it
Yeah.
was an early video game.
Yes. So anyway, Temple was also able to drive the car, but he didn't get to drive it very much because
How?
he'd have to like sit on the edge of the seat and like basically lean up against the steering wheel to actually, be able to hit the pedals.
He
Yeah.
would stand, and Bud had to push the pedals for
He
him.
probably wasn't fucking tall enough to ride the damn Ferris wheel, let alone drive a Model T,
Well-
a Bush Red thingy.
Their dad, Bush Runabout, their dad
Brush.
was actually inspired to buy his own automobile.
Okay.
He bought a sturdier Maxwell touring car.
Oh, they're very nice. No idea.
And he hired a chauffeur to drive him home.
You know, that was actually pretty common. Because not only did not know how to drive, but they broke down constantly, and if you couldn't,
Yeah.
and the chauffeur was a mechanic chauffeur.
Yeah.
So
Well, Temple and Bud didn't
Yep.
have a mechanic chauffeur.
God.
So the
I like the boys. So
The boys.
the boys, mostly Bud, but actually sometimes Temple, drove themselves. They had goggles and dusters.
Of course they did.
I hope they also had driving gloves.
They
'cause
must.
Everybody
Oh,
had to have
yeah,
driving
yeah.
gloves.
I feel like we should still drive like that, even in air-conditioned non-convertibles.
With power steering.
Oh, occasionally I see some man,
man.
always a
Always
man,
a man,
wearing
yes.
driving gloves.
I
It's
love driving
hilarious.
gloves. Really, you have power steering.
We don't need it.
Need it.
Well, they made good time. They stopped along the way to visit Niagara Falls and the car brush factory in Detroit. Their dad's car, however, the sturdier Maxwell, caught fire along the way,
Okay, see?
burned the boys' souvenirs,
Oh.
including the teddy bear
And the chauffeur.
from Teddy Roosevelt. The car was salvageable, though.
I would clearly you buy another teddy bear and say this thing didn't get burned. Here's the one.
But
from
what
Ted.
about all the flags
Yeah.
of the world?
You don't worry about that. They're not going to care.
The flags flew off in
Flags flew off. There we go.
the wind. So the car was salvageable, and they motored into Oklahoma City on July 30th. And they were guests of honor at a reception at the fairgrounds sponsored by the new Oklahoma Auto Club. That trip, 2,512 miles, took 23 days. A lot quicker
Much quicker.
by motor car
That's
than
those
horse.
horseless carriage.
Well, promoters soon learned that there was money to be made
Of
off
course they
the
did.
Abernathy boys fame. They starred as themselves
they're hawking shaving cream and
in
liquor.
Dollar
in
Shave
a
Club.
1910 silent movie.
Oh my God.
It was not a true story. It was called Abernathy Boys to the Rescue.
Oh God.
Quote, a story of the real wild and woolly Western type, which will arouse your enthusiasm, which will bubble with
you
excitement
know
and
what?
interest.
Stick with Buzzle.
It had to do with them like saving some
Damsel in
guy's
distress.
fiance who had been kidnapped by ruffians, and
What
These
the
6
hell?
and 10 year
I
old.
think Temple went off to save the girl, and Bud went off to save the man. It was ridiculous,
That-
but cute.
I
I'm
would
sure it
pay
was
to see
cute.
it.
I know.
Do they have it? Is it in existence?
I don't know if it is or not.
Huh. What was it called?
Abernathy Kids to the Rescue.
Oh, that's right. I
Abernathy
knew that.
Kids to the Rescue, 1910.
They had
They
a
were-
short-lived series right after that.
Yeah. They were hired as spokesmen for the Brush Company for the 1911 auto show in New York. They
That's
were
not a bad plan.
yeah, basically paid to sit in a booth and talk about their adventures
But they were flown there.
Flew it out.
First class.
by the
The brush
the-
company.
No, by the Wright brothers, remember?
Oh,
First class, which means you sat in the back of the single-engine biplane.
yeah.
Fred Thompson and Skip Dundee, who built the Hippodrome Theater and owned Luna Park on Coney Island, paid Bud and Temple to sit on their horses on the boardwalk and talk about their adventures. To keep
Simpler
them
times.
in the public eye, Thompson and Dundee arranged an elephant and donkey race from New York to Washington.
Wait, what? Is this political?
Yes, it was.
Well, now we have an old guy in Las Vegas who lets you kick him in the nuts as hard as you can for $20. So we've
Yeah.
had these kinds of things for a long time.
well,
I'm confused.
the elephant and donkey, Jack, you're right. It was ostensibly to predict the winner of the upcoming presidential race. They were accompanied by animal trainers. Bud rode the 7,000-pound elephant, and Temple got the donkey.
Well, they should have had a moose because the donkey won, with the elephant finished third that year. The moose finished second.
Oh, darn it. Anyway, the race was called off in Philadelphia when the elephant was too exhausted to keep going.
Not the Ellie.
So,
Then they electrocuted it by Thomas Edison.
well,
Probably that man.
promoters thought of an even grander scheme for the boys. A $10,000 challenge for them to travel from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean on horseback in 60 days. Bud was now 11. Temple was 7. They would be allowed to rest on Sundays and not ride in bad weather without it counting toward the 60-day total.
Okay.
And they would be allowed one change of horses. And the last twist was they would not be allowed to eat or sleep under a roof for the entire journey. So they agreed. They thought it was great. And no talk anywhere of getting their dad's permission.
No.
So I guess
By this point,
from this, it's
he's
just
given
like,
up.
you guys do whatever you want to do.
Let me think about it. Dad, we've already signed a contract. I'm sorry.
So at midnight on August 11th, 1911, the boys and their horses emerged from knee-deep water in the Atlantic Ocean, where they dipped a flask into the ocean to get seawater to then take to dump in the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, well, that seems like that could cause some serious ecological problems, but go ahead.
In San Francisco's Golden Gate Park. There were thousands of people there to cheer them on. They did not stop long for receptions and parades. They slept on the ground in bedrolls, and as summer became fall, they would burrow into haystacks for the warmth at night. In fact, their dad met them somewhere along the route, and he was really concerned about how they were going to keep up with their challenge to not sleep indoors. And I forget where it was, but it was cold and kind of snowy, and he saw they burrowed themselves in haystacks.
You know, I think I do remember this because when they're going through the Donner Pass, I think Bud actually eats Temple, and that's how it ended. Am I right?
No, but they
Okay.
did go over the Donner Pass.
Damn it. And so Temple ate Bud. There's got to be some cannibalism. That's tradition. We always do when we go over the Donner Pass.
Yeah. Well, some sympathetic towns knew about their restrictions, and they would have a table full of wonderful food and drinks set up for them outside so they could stay outside and eat and never have a meal indoors. Some people never heard of them, didn't care about them, and chased them off their property if they tried to
Really?
set up camp.
Huh.
Those are people who don't read the New York Times,
No.
probably. They traveled through the Rockies, over the Continental Divide, and into the Great Salt Lake Desert, where they ran into some trouble. They woke up one morning to find their horses were gone.
Oh, no.
Yes. They spent 3
Stolen
days
by Mormons. 3 days.
searching in the shadeless desert. No food or water. And Temple later would say, I think we both suddenly realized that we could die out there in the heat.
Oh, now.
The irony.
They had little food and almost no water left, and without the horses, it would be impossible. So They at last found one of the horses, and then they caught up with the other one in Kelton, Utah, where the horse had wandered to in search of water, oddly enough. There, they got food, drink, and fresh supplies and followed the railroad tracks out of town. A westbound train screeched to a stop when it saw them. The men aboard the train offered the boys a ride and said, we can take your horses too.
They can't do that, though.
And that way it would spare them, 3 more days of riding through the desert.
Yeah.
Bud said, no, sir, we can't do that. It would be breaking our contract.
Yeah.
One of the crewmen said, we'll never tell. And another guy said, that's right, no one will ever know. And Bud said, we'd know.
And also, yeah, they would, because everyone on this train would tell someone immediately. So.
Yep.
So they pressed on. They made it through Nevada to California, then San Francisco to Golden Gate Park to dump their flask of Atlantic water into the Pacific.
And eventually cause global warming. Pretty sure that's the origin.
I don't think so. They had ridden 3,619 miles in, guess how many days?
80.
59.
62 days.
Oh, those little fucking slackers.
I'm assuming taking into account Sundays and bad weather days.
Yeah.
They
So
missed-
really, in real life,
Probably
whatever,
more than that,
80
yeah.
days.
They missed the goal by 2 days. So they didn't get the $10,000. But they set a record for crossing the continent on horseback, breaking the old record, which was 182 days.
Really?
Their expenses, because they had expenses,
Oh, yeah.
$2,800.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They thought they were going to get 10 grand out of it. Nope, they
Yeah.
got nothing.
They blew it.
Should have not lost your horses in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither one of them cared very much about missing out on the prize. They're little kids; they don't
Yeah,
care about
right.
money. Bud said it was too hard. We averaged nearly 60 miles a day when we rode, and it was too far. Temple said, gee, but it's great to get here. I liked the trip all right, but sometimes it got cold, and then I didn't like it so well. I want the deepest feather bed I can get in this town.
Oysters. I'll demand oysters. I think they could sell their stories to some newspapers and make some sweet, sweet cash.
That part.
Maybe.
Do more movies. More
Yeah.
Abernathy
Boom.
Boys to the Rescue Part 2.
Yeah.
Probably. I think they're probably in the black on their
Oh, yeah.
whole
For
endeavor. Their final ride came in 1913. The maker of Indian motorcycles, there was no R in the word in those days, offered them a custom-made 2-seat twin-engine machine if they would travel on it from Oklahoma to New York City. Temple was 9 and Bud was 13. And the company, they had to learn how to ride a motorcycle. So the company would also send a mechanic to ride a second motorcycle along with them. So they taught themselves how to drive the 500-pound motorcycle. I'm sure it was Bud driving. They headed out. They stopped along the way to give demonstrations and visit dealerships. But by this time, roads had improved so much they were able to get up to like 70 miles an hour on some of the paved stretches. So much later, Temple wrote a book about their adventures called Bud and Me. Or actually, I'm sorry, Temple didn't write the book. Temple told all these stories to his wife.
Okay.
She ended up writing the book. He said, at this time, with the motorcycle thing, we were salesmen now, not celebrities as before, and we didn't have to deal with reporters and crowds. I missed the excitement, but all in all, I liked it better because we were free to do as we pleased. Although we didn't realize it at the time, our cross-country travels as the Abernathy Boys were at an end. So that was it. They were done in
No more
1913. No more trips. There is a statue, like a bronze statue of them as little boys. It's on the lawn of the Tillman County Courthouse in Oklahoma. It was dedicated to them in April 2006, a month after what would have been Temple's 102nd birthday.
Did they see Haley's Comet again?
I do not know.
Damn, I hope so.
Sorry.
Well, how long did they live?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Did they really exist?
They really did exist. Their celebrity childhood wound down. World War I was a coming. They went to military school in San Antonio. Eventually, Jack became a wildcatter he went into the oil business. Actually, that was the dad. The dad went into the oil business and relocated to Texas. Temple then followed his dad into the oil business. And
I thought he was going to be a train conductor or a hotel bellboy.
he
Clerk.
didn't do any of those things.
Come on, be a bellhop.
Bud went on to graduate from the University of Oklahoma Law School, where he became a lawyer. He was a prosecutor and eventually a judge.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lawyer and an oil tycoon. I hate them.
That's it?
The
That's
end.
the story? Okay.
Isn't that a cool story?
That's a great story.
Cute little, fun little romp through the...
Yes.
Through the
World.
range.
Their oldest sister, Kitty, became a nun.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She got thee to a nunnery.
What
Yeah.
happened to Jessie Pearl?
Oh, she died.
Oh, that's right.
No,
Jessie
no.
Pearl, the
Oh, that was
daughter.
the mom.
The mom, Jessie Pearl, the daughter, married some guy in Texas. But I saw a comment on some article by one of her great grandchildren who said she was just a spunky, adventurous woman, and she was great.
She did all this shit, got no attention for it
Probably.
whatsoever. She actually was with them, but they wrote her out.
Goldie, the deaf sister, married a deaf guy.
Double deaf.
Yep.
That's, as they say.
And I'm
Yeah.
assuming had a happy life.
Happy deaf life.
And then I don't remember what happened to the other sister. They all ended up pretty much, I think, in Texas. The end.
Delightful,
Yeah.
Carrie. I've never heard of him.
I
Me
haven't
neither.
either.
I'm surprised, actually, that they're not more widely known.
I know.
Well, there are, in addition to Miss Temple's wife's book about them, there are other books. The one cousin, I think Miles Abernathy, had written a book about them. I have heard, and there are lots of children's books too written about them, but I have heard that some of the books written, more contemporaneously with the story have a lot of,
Racism.
What do you mean? What?
little touchy things in them about
Touchy.
Native Americans
Oh.
and black people.
And they
all
were
that kind of
killed as
stuff.
an engine, that kind of thing.
Are you surprised? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm not surprised.
at
I
all.
mean, that should be... yeah, well, they probably were awful people in real life, but
I don't think they were. I think they were wonderful little guys.
I think so too, Carrie.
A lawyer
I'm
and
sure
an
they
oil
were.
tycoon.
Well,
but
you
anyway.
do what you do.
Ugh.
That's nothing wrong with that.
Ugh.
Depends on what kind of lawyer you are and what
there's-
kind of
Yeah.
He was a
oil wildcatter you
prosecutor.
are. Well, yeah, sure. He went after based on racism and was.
Ding
I don't think he was
dong.
called Hang 'em
Manufactured
High
evidence, but-
Bud.
That doesn't matter.
Okay, if that prosecutor's now called Hang 'em High, I guess they're good. Well, that's a
Anyway.
delightful tale, Carrie. That is uplifting.
Isn't it
No,
though?
there's only one death, and it
Minimal
was
death.
Yeah, minimal death that we heard of. A minimal death of white people. So, very good story there, Carrie. Thank you.
You're
Thank you for that.
welcome.
Tell them where they can find us or don't.
No, I'm
We
not.
don't do that anymore? Okay.
On every podcast
Thing.
platform.
everything.
Okay.
But if you'd like to, you may leave us a good review.
Yes.
Only good ones.
5 stars, preferably.
And
Or
tell
10
us-
if it goes up to 10.
I think just 5. Tell us if you think the Abernathy boys came out to be good kids. Good little guys, as Carrie said, or as Jack, over here, with all his cynicism, thinks they were evil.
Okay.
Well,
come on
also
now.
online, there are several super cute pictures of them.
Oh.
And there's actually film of them riding behind Theodore Roosevelt
Really?
in the parade.
Yeah, you know what is interesting is how there are lots of major, real sensations of their day we've absolutely never heard of. Not even that, even less than 100 years ago.
Yeah.
It's interesting how common that is,
Yeah.
and how fleeting fame is for the vast majority of famous people.
Yeah.
Just remember that, Kardashians. No one cares about you.
because they're listening.
Well, in the age of the internet, it'll be much easier
It will be.
for people's fame
But
to
they will still be
it's
footnotes,
more readily
trust me.
accessible. We would have had
That's
to go
true.
to some microfiche room to dig up old New York Times
Yes.
stories about the Abernathy boys. So
Okay. Well, thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome, Dean.
Until next time, join us. I don't know.
What? To go on
Bye.
an adventure.
See ya. Yeah. Go ride
There
the
you go.
Santa Fe.
Bye.